The lip syncing thing, man, that when you go to see a concert and you find out that people are lip syncing, that's so disturbing. That's pretending. That's not singing.
It's like, well, they have to have the backing tracks because they're dancing and they're out of breath. It's like, well, stop dancing and do the song. I mean,
are you a dancer or are you a musician or a singer? Cardio. Start running hills.
No.
Live concerts. Why do we go to them? I don't know if you've been on the internet much before, but a lot of people have opinions about what a live show should be.
We are, after all, paying money for this experience.
Now, I know the price ain't necessarily the band's fault, but I'm still paying it. So, like, what are you giving me for my $200? I mean, shit, some people fly clear across the country and stay in hotels, probably spending close to $1,000 just to see their favorite band play live. So, what are you actually getting for your money? Now, if you're new here, hi, I'm Babymetal. Fun fact, if you take the out of my name, it spells
Gay metal.
And while I might not be a gay person, there are those who think that just maybe someone else might be.
Recently, I tried to be as me as possible for the sake of Moa-metal too.
Whether Moa-metal likes girls or boys is entirely fan speculation. We support whatever Moa chooses or does not choose to disclose to her fans.
They were tempted by fruit, and they knew they were sinful and naked without Jesus. Hello, sinner.
Anyway, this channel is about So while our conversation today can apply to other artists also, our example for this video will be my personal favorite band. Now, luckily for me, Babymetal is a perfect band to focus on for this exercise, because Babymetal has a unique quality where their fans consist of both fans of the music itself and fans of idol or pop culture. Some people come from the metal scene and reluctantly fell into the cutesy metal fantasy. Others were already on the cute train and maybe got introduced to metal music for the first time because of Babymetal. So Babymetal fans, more than possibly any other band out there, have a diverse set of priorities for what they go to live shows for specifically. So as fans, what do we want from a Babymetal show? And are we, getting it?
What do you want?
Number one, I think, is authenticity. The first and most obvious reason to go to a concert is to experience the recorded music you fell in love with live. The singer singing into the microphone, and the musicians playing their instruments. Because, you can listen to the stuff they recorded, and that's awesome. But in our age of software manipulation and autotune, the people crave authenticity. Can she really sing that good? Can Momo really growl like that? Are the musicians really that good? Seeing live proof of someone's raw talent is extremely cathartic. It's satisfying and beautiful to know that the sound you are hearing isn't just made in a studio. It's a gift someone has harnessed through hard work and effort over years of their life that they are now sharing with the world. It's fucking breathtaking, and it's one of the most beautiful things music can do. It connects you to the artist through its emotion. Now, the second thing people go to these concerts for is the show, as I like to call it. Let's talk about the show. The dancing, the pyrotechnics, the jumbotron, the smoke machines, the set pieces. There's a lot of cool shit you can do at a concert to bolster your awesome music with cool visuals. In fact, spectacle is expected at any concert. If you're online in spaces with people who attend concerts, you've seen people complain about how they didn't move around enough. They just stood there, playing their instruments. The nerve. And while there's nothing actually wrong with that, it's not exactly very exciting to watch. Leave that for the folk festival. I want crucifixions.
I want sacrifices.
The third thing is just interacting with other fans. Now, while not for everyone, there are those of us extroverts who love meeting people and sharing experiences with other like-minded individuals.
I always say this, but for me, 50% of attending a Babymetal show is about the queuing time. So I don't just go there early to get the barrier spot, but because I want to be there for a long time to meet other people and give gifts and get gifts and just hang around, meet people for the first time. But if you just show up 1 hour before doors open, you're not gonna have that chance, that experience.
As a busy adult, especially if you have a family, it can be difficult to organically run into other die-hard Babymetal fans. Speaking from my own experience, I have been a rabid Babymetal fan for about 1.5 years now. I know that's not very long, but I tell everyone I talk to about Babymetal. You think I made this channel to hide them from the world? But despite my best efforts, I have encountered 0 Babymetal fans in the wild. But when you go to a concert, everyone paid money to be there. These are Babymetal fans, people of culture, and you get to talk to them while waiting in line to get in the venue. Waiting in line for merch. I get that not everyone enjoys being in crowds, and that's totally valid. But for some people, that fan interaction is a freaking drug, man, in the best way. Sharing stories about other times you've seen the band live, seeing how creative people get dressed up for the shows, some going as far as to have completely constructed Moa-Metal costumes. As a guy who doesn't have in-person fellow fans to talk about Babymetal with, besides my lovely 10-year-old daughter, it was so validating seeing 1,000 other Babymetal fans in real life. Unless we forget about the mosh pit. Now, being that I brought my daughter to my Babymetal concert experience, we steered clear of the pit. But from the ages of like 15 to 24, I was about this shit. The pit is not for everyone, and as someone who has broken his nose in the mosh pit, I know it can be a dangerous place to be. But at the right concerts, the general culture in the pit is positive and supportive and enhances the show experience. You fall down, people are helping you up. If someone accidentally clocks you, they might extend a soft hand to your shoulder to say, "Sorry, bro." Man, I miss the mosh pit. But anyway, that's how other fans make a live concert fun. So now let's talk about another reason a lot of people like seeing their favorite artists they might not candidly admit. Oh my fucking god, it's Moa. She's right there. She's on stage. Oh my god, it's Moa.
God damn it, that's Momo. That's Momo standing right there. She's actually right there in front of me on the stage, 5 feet away. She looked at me.
Admit it. There's someone famous out there that you would get skis in your fucking knees for if they spoke to you in real life. For a lot of Babymetal fans, just the idea of seeing Sue, Moa, and Momo in person feels surreal. For some of us, it feels like seeing the Beatles.
I love them. I don't care what anybody thinks. I love the Beatles for them, and I'll always love them. Even when I'm 105 and an old grandmother, I'll love them.
Like, for a non-fan, I get that sounds crazy and overstated, but Babymetal fans are dedicated, man. If you don't know that, you haven't talked to enough of us. But whoever your bucket list meet and greet celebrity is, some of us spend a lot of time putting these famous folks on pedestals. We admire them and hang on every moment and every word. So when you finally see them in real life, it doesn't feel real, and it feels way too real all at the same time. It's this crazy unbalanced feeling where you've gotten so much joy out of someone's work, and you know they don't know you personally, but are just stoked as fuck if they even notice your existence, because like, that's fucking Sue-Metal right there, man. So how heavily does the idea of just being in the same room with them factor in to the decision of spending hundreds of dollars to go see them? This is where I think what people feel and what people think diverges a little bit. What do I mean by that? Well, in order to get to that answer, we must first dive into what Babymetal brings to us at live shows. Don't think, feel. So what does Babymetal actually do at their shows? Let's review the categories of things here for a sec, okay? Authenticity, showmanship, interaction between fans, and oh my fucking god, that's Moa right there, we're breathing the same goddamn air, oh my god. Now, for the sake of pacing and how I structured this video, we are going to go in a deliberate order when talking about these aspects. So first, what is the Babymetal show experience like?
Some call it the show, or the big dance.
It's no secret that people have a blast at Babymetal concerts, and a large reason for that is everything going on in tandem with the music itself. First, let's talk about the most obvious aspect for Babymetal specifically, the dancing. Suzuka, Moa, and Momo own the stage with their dance moves. Their countless hours of practice choreography almost never misses a beat. They aren't playing the instruments on stage, but they are getting a full cardio workout. And they do also sometimes play instruments sometimes. Don't write off the idol aspect of Babymetal's show. Say what you will about idol culture, but Babymetal took all of its best aspects and fused it with the best type of music, at least if you ask me. Babymetal proved that you can dance to metal music, and it doesn't have to be your typical slam dance maneuver to fit in. It doesn't have to be a two-step. Just look at this con-con choreography. That's so fun. Beyond the killer dance moves, Babymetal shows offer a host of pyrotechnics, expert use of the Jumbotron screen so you don't miss a single facial expression. Sometimes you can even see yourself on there. Hey! If you're lucky enough to have been to an arena show, I mean, just look at these silly little shenanigans they get into. Never a dull moment. Next up, let's look at...
Fame is a fickle friend, Harry. Celebrity is as celebrity does. Remember that.
We kind of already covered this, so let me just say a little bit more about the Babymetal fandom specifically. Babymetal fans are truly a diverse bunch. You could probably do an entire video talking about how many different types of Babymetal fans there are. New fans, old fans, young fans, grandpas, American fans, Japanese fans. Hell, what country doesn't have a Babymetal fandom? People from all walks of life come to these shows, and the one constant, for the most part, is that Babymetal community is very inclusive and welcoming. And why shouldn't they be? Babymetal themselves have fought for their place in metal for over a decade. They are the poster children of breaking barriers and insisting that there are no rules to good music. Similarly, there are no rules on how to be a Babymetal fan. Whatever aspect you like about Babymetal is valid. Which leads us into the next live show aspect.
Oh my fucking god, that's Momo!
Yeah, so I said whatever aspect you like about Babymetal is valid, and I meant that. So let's talk about the fans that specifically idolize the girls themselves over everything else. Now let me be clear. For me personally, I don't fall into the simp category for Babymetal. If you do, there is nothing wrong with that. Just make sure if you have a significant other that they're okay with that, because
Babymetal does not condone emotional shame. Showmetal commands that you be faithful to your partner.
But in the proper context, I don't think harmlessly simping for the girls is inherently a bad thing. I think Momo-Metal knows that people find these girls rather cute. They are counting on a certain amount of fans to be there at a show simply because they wish Moa would just glance over at them for a single second. I understand that there is a segment of the fandom that is primarily here because they find the girls attractive. I just want to be clear that for me personally, I am closer to wishing I could become Sue-Metal rather than date her. I look up to and respect the girls for their craft so much, especially Suzuka. I enjoy singing myself, and if I could be as good as her, that would just be stellar. Whether as a singer or a drummer, my dream would be to do exactly what Babymetal is doing. But make no mistake that for one reason or another, Babymetal fans would die for these girls. Remember what I said about Babymetal being the Beatles to some people? I'm not playing around. People freaking love this band. Like, why do you think they don't do meet and greets? I actually did a poll about this a while back, and I really do think the main reason they don't do them is to protect the girls. Yes, most fans are harmless and respectful, but there will, unfortunately, always be the psycho fans out there, and I think most of us would agree that a meet and greet is just not worth the risk. Babymetal must be protected. You have to be careful how you balance your parasocial relationships with famous people. Some people dream of meeting a girl just like Moa, or Sue, or Momo, but it's important not to forget that they are just your idols. That can be a beautiful thing. And it can be healthy even. But just don't be a creep about it, fam. So let's just get to the real reason I made this video. What I actually want to talk about.
Like, everything in life, there are challenges at first. The metal fans are big critics.
Yes.
So it is not easy for us.
Okay.
But when they started enjoying our music and concerts, it means the world to us.
Authenticity. Are they actually singing live? So what really smacks my ass about this is the idea of authenticity and what it means to give an authentic performance. What exactly is Babymetal doing at their live shows? Musically, that is. Because I don't know if you know this, but there's a conspiracy going around that Babymetal uses pre-recorded tracks at their shows.
Oh my god!
Okay, so let me break it down. Longtime Babymetal fans, sound engineers, actual experts who know more than I do, please correct me in the comments if I get anything wrong here. But I'm going to explain this as I understand it. Babymetal, in the form of Sue-Metal, Moa-Metal, Momo-Metal, and the Kami Band, arrive on stage at any given show. The Kami Band have their instruments, Sue-Metal has her handheld microphone, an SM58, which is apparently known for being a reliable mic, and Moa and Momo have their headset microphones, so they can keep their hands free. All of these instruments and microphones are operational and used during the show, to varying degrees. Let's cover them individually. As far as I'm aware, the Kami Band musicians are always playing live. They do play over pre-recorded tracks, but the tracks are meant to be heard less than the live playing, and if you've been to a Babymetal show, you can likely attest that there are multiple moments where the live playing is obvious due to either a minor mistake or a slight difference in tempo or chord progression. So is the Kami Band authentic? Hell yeah, they are. There is very little debate about this in particular. Everyone knows the Kami Band are absolutely killer musicians. In fact, many fans and casual Babymetal listeners alike credit the Kami band the most for Babymetal's success with a more old-school metal audience who only care about the raw metal music. Alright, now for Su-Metal. As I mentioned, Suzuka uses a handheld microphone. She specifically does not use a headset microphone. This is because she does by far the most singing. A fixed-to-your-face microphone relies on software cues and sound engineers to ensure the mic is hot when it's supposed to be, and not hot when it's not supposed to be. Performers understand that you don't want to hear a bunch of heavy breathing from your idols at the concert.
Do you need some help?
However, using all those external controls takes away control from the performer. And Su-Metal ain't about that shit. She's an absolute monarch. Su-Metal choosing to use a handheld microphone is her taking control of her vocals. She is a professional, and a damn good singer. She controls when it's time for her to sing, not a sound engineer. What does this have to do with the pre-recorded track? Well, for one thing, this makes it that much more obvious that the backing track exists, since Su can choose to improvise more with her vocals. There are plenty of videos out there clearly showing that Suzuka is singing live, with Babymetal and before Babymetal. Her talent is why Koba-Metal, their manager, picked her to lead the group. The backing track does also help continue notes that may be held into another note that needs to begin. In this case, Su-Metal may end her live singing note before the track and begin the next note. But you might still be able to hear the track behind her, essentially making Suzuka become her own backup singer. Why don't they have Momo or Moa do that? I don't know. But it's an insane prospect to suggest that they would not allow Su-Metal to sing on stage. Without Su-Metal, there is no Babymetal. Okay, but does she ever lip sync? Well, yeah, I mean, at the very least, I don't think she's doing this stuff. Now, are there any singing instances out there of lip syncing? Well, this is all Reddit information, so take it as what you will. But apparently, back in 2018, there was a show in Russia where Suzuka was uncharacteristically low in the audio mix while singing, which a lot of people suggested was effectively lip syncing. This is said to have been likely due to her being under the weather and her voice suffering because of it. Allegedly, Su-Metal heavily relied on the backing vocals during this performance, and some people were upsetty spaghetti. Okay, kids, here's what I think about that. Touring as a singer is taxing. Singing your heart out night after night takes a toll on your voice, no matter how many precautions you take. And whether you're sick or not, sometimes you can just start to lose your voice a bit. This can happen to any singer, no matter how good you are. So, as a singer, you pretty much have two options. Reschedule or cancel the show, or alter the performance itself so that the show can go on. What Babymetal's team seemingly chose to do here, in this case, was still give the fans a show, even if it wasn't perfect circumstances, as opposed to canceling. My hope is that Su-Metal was a part of that decision-making process, and if she was, and she chose to go out there and rely a little more on the backtrack to get through, I'm fully in support of that. Is it ideal? No, sure it's not. But if that was your one and only opportunity to see Babymetal, wouldn't you rather have that than nothing at all?
The backtrack exists, and sometimes Su-Metal won't sing exactly in sync with it. But is that lip syncing? No. Su-Metal is authentically singing live at every performance.
So we covered the Queen. What about Moa and Momo? Remember those fixed-to-your-face microphones? The ones that can be muted so that you don't hear... How much singing are Moa and Momo actually doing at shows? Frankly, it is hard to tell. What we do know is that Moa and Momo both provide vocals on the recorded studio tracks. I mean, look no further than Song 3. But how much of, if any of that, are they actually singing into their microphones live? Are the microphones just for show? Well, first off, no, I can personally attest that from the beginning of the live show I attended, you can hear, hot on microphone, Moa and Momo introducing themselves. As I stated before, the microphones are operational. So do they sing every one of their parts live? Well, it's hard to say. I don't think I want to make any definitive statements on how much is pre-recorded versus live for Moa and Momo. What I will say is my impression of the live show I experienced and countless hours of footage I have seen online on a daily basis for over a year at this point is that Moa and Momo sing over the track as often as they can while trying to dance and interact with the crowd. I truly think that for the majority of what Moa and Momo do live, most fans are willing to allow some leeway for a missing line or two when the girls are focused on other aspects of the performance. Plenty of pop singers do the same thing, and people have just accepted that this is part of the package when you go to a concert like that. I think where some fans run into disappointment is where it concerns the more substantial parts that are supposed to be Moa and Momo. People want live Bari-sans. People really want live growling from Momo. Oh my god, do people want to see Momo-Zilla growl live? And I'm with you, man. I want to see it too.
Wait, does Momo never growl live? What about when she did Momo Banger? You're telling me that wasn't live?
Whoa, hold on. As it pertains to Momo Banger, to this day, I am not confident that her performance that night was or wasn't live. Personally, I choose to believe that the particular performance was live, but enhanced with a backtrack, much like their usual standard operating procedures. I do not think it was lip-synced by any means. What I will say is that Momo Banger was and is
a lot of people's introduction to Momo-Metal
as her own member, standing beside the 2 remaining legacy members. For how important that performance was, I don't blame the team for wanting to ensure the performance was received well, through use of some assistance with the pre-recorded track. So maybe you're sitting here watching this and are thinking to yourself, well, if they're not really singing up there the whole time, they're ripping me off. I paid for a live show. I don't want to hear the CD I have in my car. They could change the choreography to allow Momo to growl live for song 3. Okay, let me extend an olive branch and just say this. First of all, I think the majority of folks complaining that Moa and Momo don't get to sing and scream more live are actual fans who just want to see that more. Most people talking about it don't seem to be haters, but rather folks that just want to see more authentic Babymetal voices in their ears. I get that. Let's continue with song 3 as our example. If I could see a performance of song 3 wherein Momo screams all of her parts live, with dialed back choreography on her part, I would love that. I think that might actually break my brain. I agree with you on that, and maybe I'm just too deep in the foxhole, but I am also fine with the track carrying those screams for the performance. Would I prefer her to do it live? Sure. But I know there are valid concerns with doing that. Harsh vocals are named as such because they are harsh on your throat and vocal ability. It is difficult to maintain a healthy relationship with growling on a regular basis, and growling is not the only thing Momo does. If they are relying on pre-recorded Momo growls at live shows out of concern for ensuring the performances are strong and consistent and Momo's voice remains healthy, I'm good with that. Will we ever know all the reasons behind the decision? No, probably not. But what I don't want to do is allow the non-live portions of a show to sour my experience. Remember all those other things we talked about? There is a lot that goes into a concert besides just the raw authenticity of live singing. Authenticity is important, and Momo and Moa are still supplying that. But they have to balance it against a lot of other aspects of the show that are important to people. I don't personally want Babymetal to lose their choreography in favor of conforming to a more traditional metal band performance. I want them to continue with their own vision. So with all that said, what aspect of a live show is the most important? Well, I did a poll, and as of the time of writing, over 1,500 people have given their opinions based on the aspects we talked about. And well, a whopping 65% majority said that authentic live singing was the most important aspect to the show for them. So I guess what it comes down to is, what level of live singing is okay to trade away for another element of the show? Another dance move, or the freedom to wave at the fans and maybe miss a line or two. I do think it's valid to be bothered, or at least a little concerned, by the loss of authenticity in live singing at live concerts. I'm not personally bothered by the amount of pre-recorded elements at Babymetal shows specifically, but I would very much like to see Momo-Metal growl live on a hot microphone. I mean, if you don't want to see that,
I'll tell you why, because you are a mean girl. You're a
really nice person.
And I want my pink shirt back!
What I hope I've done today, really, is get people to think a little bit more about why they appreciate concerts as a whole. Even if you're a little bothered by the fact that Bloody Wood's part is on the Jumbotron behind them, or that Momo-Metal is dancing instead of growling her part.
Who knows?
Maybe Koba is just waiting for the opportune moment to release live Momo-Zilla. Here's what I do know, fam. Babymetal shows are life-changing experiences. Nothing is perfect, and it's okay to have some critiques. But don't let those details sully your overall experience. Babymetal puts in an insane amount of work to deliver what they hope is the best concert you've experienced. The pits are wild, the girls have unlimited energy and make you feel seen and appreciated, and the sound engineers are always earning their paycheck to make sure you get your ears blown out in the best way possible. Make no mistake, we are getting our money's worth with the Babymetal concert. So speaking of feeling, I asked you guys to share some of your absolute best memories at a concert. I did this because I wanted to see if your favorite memory at a concert was based around the music and singing, or if it was focused around something else. Because as you saw, 65% of people insist that authentic live singing is the most important thing. So while I originally planned on reading a bunch of your favorite all-time memorable concert moments, this video truly spiraled into something almost too long for my phone to have enough space to save it all. But I read every story you guys commented on my post, and I will have them on screen as I continue to speak about them. So what I did was I came up with data based on what you shared. I took the 4 categories I talked about today and gave a point to each story for which category they fell into. Some stories fit into more than one category, so I awarded points to both categories in those instances. So it turns out, as of the time of writing, 5 special moments were about the stage or showmanship. 6 special moments were about interacting with other fans, as well as 6 of the special moments being focused on the previous poll winner, authenticity in the music at the show. 7 points were awarded to people who said everything was equal or who shared something entirely outside my categories. Want to know what the big winner for points was in your shared stories? Yup, it's the idol factor. People just gushing about Babymetal for being in the same room with them was awarded a whopping 15 points, a 47% majority over the other categories. Basically, almost half of the time people are sharing stories about their favorite artists, especially about Babymetal, they are starstruck by the power of the idol factor. Alright, it's my turn. My first Babymetal concert, I took my daughter. She is still pretty small and it was her first ever concert, so we were up in the balcony seating for most of the show. When Babymetal left the stage, I knew there would be an encore. I asked my daughter if she wanted to go down to the ground floor and watch up on my shoulders, and she agreed. What followed was the coolest experience I've ever experienced at a show. Babymetal returned to the stage, played Headbanger and Road of Resistance, and during the bridge of Road of Resistance, my daughter got to see herself on the Jumbotron, and freaking Momo-Metal waved right at her. After the show concluded, multiple other fans came up to my daughter and told her how cool she was and how they saw her up there on the screen. I seriously almost teared up at how wholesome the whole experience ended up being. So, as you can see in these stories, many moments that people treasure have little to do with a voice coming through a microphone live. That element is important, but so much goes into a concert and your personal experience at one can be affected by so many factors. Think of it like Marvel's Endgame versus like The Matrix. Babymetal concerts are Endgame. Their performances are not primarily designed to make you think deeply and existentially about life. In fact, they are not even overly concerned with you understanding all the lyrics. They are here to bring people together through an emotional connection to the music and the performance. The Matrix, much like a band like Rage Against the Machine, is more concerned with challenging your ideas. But you know what? Even Tom Morello of Rage loves Babymetal and collaborated with them on their most recent album, so as it turns out, you can do both. There's a place for political statements and there's a place for fun. And here, well, we do fun metal things here. It's valid to have concerns about musical authenticity at live shows, and I'm not here to tell you that your opinion doesn't matter, because it does. But I hope I at least caused you to maybe think about how much else you were able to enjoy about your experience watching Babymetal or any other band that you've seen live. There's lots of valid reasons to enjoy live shows. I just want everyone to know and feel the feeling that I felt when I saw Babymetal live for the first time, because it is truly indescribable. I mean, it's what inspired me to start this channel. Oh, and fellas, don't get too upset that Moa-metal just might be more into girls than boys. Remember,
I love everyone.